Hi everyone, welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Mike.
And we're talking about plastic here. We looked at yesterday, people are using a lot more food delivery options these days, and this is adding more plastic to the environment.
Right, it's very convenient to use Uber Eats or Food Panda to get your food, but that food is brought to your home in plastic containers. And as these apps get more popular, there's going to be more plastic out there. We learned that from 40 years ago until now, there's a lot more plastic in the garbage. We're throwing away a lot more plastic than we used to. And as these food apps get more popular all around the world, people expect this situation to continue to get worse. Over the next 15 years, the amount of plastic that's thrown away now will be times 3, will be tripled.
Yeah, the problem is global. India, for example, uses 26,000 tons of plastic a day.
A month?
Plastic a day.
A week?
A day.
A day?
Yes.
26,000 tons of plastic a day.
Big country, but the problem is people want spill-free plastic containers for their takeout, and they will write bad reviews about restaurants that use paper containers instead. Taiwan, however, is starting to use more paper containers, but the plastic problem is not going away.
No, that's right. And the plastic that we are trying to recycle often doesn't end up being recycled. Only 9% of plastic is recycled globally. So we have to do better, people. Use less plastic, recycle the plastic we have to use much more effectively. So we have to do something about it. And today, we're going to be providing solutions. Today, we're going to fix the problem in the next 18 minutes.
Let's go.
Reading.
Is it the end of the road for plastic takeout containers? Because plastic has been found clogging our oceans and rivers, companies, as well as researchers, are also looking for solutions. One possible answer is fish plastic. Lucy Hughes, a university student in the UK, recently invented a plastic substitute made from fish skin. This natural product can be returned safely to the ground or the water. It also has other environmental benefits. For one, producing it uses less energy than making regular plastic. In addition, it solves a problem with the large amounts of waste produced by the fishing industry. Fish skins won't need to be shipped away and dumped anymore. Elsewhere, Pivot Packaging is making containers from farm waste such as wheat, bamboo, and straw. Producing these new materials uses less water than what's needed to make paper or plastic, and it doesn't require forests to be cut down. Using plastic to package food shouldn't be necessary. To get rid of it entirely, consumers need to stop accepting plastic in their takeout orders or just eat out.
All right, so it's probably not a big surprise or big news to you guys that plastic is a problem. We begin the article by sort of restating that. Because plastic has been found clogging our oceans and rivers, companies as well as researchers are also looking for solutions. That's a good point. We often look at this as a big problem, but hey, if you could be the Steve Jobs of plastic recycling, the Thomas Edison of recycling, you could be probably the richest person who ever lived, because there's a lot of money to be made with this because it's such a big problem all around the world. So all you scientists out there, get on it and you will probably become world famous if you can solve this problem. Yeah, plastic is clogging our oceans and rivers and other places too. To clog something is basically to block something, all right? You're getting in the way and you're stopping things from moving or flowing through. One of the simplest but grossest ways to think of a clog is think of all that hair that you get in the bottom of your shower or whatever after a week or two of washing your hair. You'll notice the water's going down more slowly. It's starting to build up a bit, and then you see down in the drain, oh, it's full of hair and other stuff. And you got to reach in there and get that clog. We can use it as a noun, all right? A clog of hair is a bunch of hair or something else that's blocking something, and it's clogging the drain, the hole that the water should run out. Not a good thing, all right? So with clogging, we're trying to stop it from blocking things so that the flow can go back to normal and continue.
We also saw some today's grammar point in that last sentence. The grammar point is to find, leave, or keep, and we follow this with an object and an object complement. And this grammar construction is used to show a particular situation that is either ongoing, if you use an ing, or over with an ed. So with the verb find, it describes a situation as a person finds it. They could find something breaking or find something broken, depending on the state of the thing when you find it. It's either in the process of breaking or it has been broken. Now with keep, it depends on how you want this particular thing to stay. Do you want to keep it happening, in progress, or do you want to keep people excited, which means you want things to stay in the same condition or progress with the ing. Now then we've got leave. If you're about to go, how do you want to leave the situation behind you? Do you want to leave the kids studying, being in progress, or do you want to leave something finished, which means it is done? Now in our article, we've used this grammar in the passive voice. Plastic has been found clogging the oceans and rivers. So this is something that's in progress. The plastic, they've found it and it's still clogging it. It hasn't finished, it's still in progress. Here's another example. Mandy walked into the kitchen and found her cat drinking the milk.
All right, and we also have this word researcher. Okay, a researcher, here it's a noun, is a person who does research.
Ooh.
That's right. Research is when you study something in a lot of detail, you get a lot of facts and information, hopefully you learn something more about it. So a researcher is a person who does that. Now you're thinking, well, that sounds like someone who must be smart. Generally, yeah. Researchers could be scientists, they could probably work at a university, maybe for some kind of big company. They're not making things for today, they're finding out things for tomorrow. All right, researchers in a computer company might be looking for ways to make that microchip even smaller and even faster. Researchers at a food company might be finding ways to make your bananas last a little bit longer in the fridge or whatever, because they're involved in basically getting new information, learning stuff about things so that then they can go on and improve things. But before you can change things, you need to know about them, and to know about them, you need a researcher.
And what have researchers come up with? We see in the article one possible answer is fish plastic.
Wait.
Fish plastic.
Fish plastic.
Let's check it out.
It's like a plastic fish?
No, better.
All right, let's find out. Lucy Hughes, a university student in the UK, recently invented a plastic substitute made from fish skin.
There we go.
That is absolutely incredible. So I guess it would look like plastic, it would work like plastic, but it's not made of oil or chemicals like plastic's made from. It's made from fish skin.
Yep.
That sounds absolutely amazing. But fish skin is kind of strong.
Yeah.
Right? It's a little sticky. Oh, okay. But I'm sure there's a lot of science here I don't understand. But if she can make something that's a substitute for plastic, that would be great for everybody. A substitute is basically something that's used in the place of something else. All right? If A doesn't work, then you get B so that you can have the same thing happen. You get rid of A, put in B, it does the same job, it's a substitute. Often in basketball or in sports, when there's a player who's getting tired, the coach might see that and say, hey, you, come off, sit down, take a rest. But they can't have fewer players on the field, they have to have the same numbers, so they'll put in a substitute. Or if you can't get your pen to work, then you'll ask your friend, can I borrow your pen? Or you're going to buy a new pen. You need a new pen to take the place of the old broken one. That would be the substitute pen.
So we say this substitute is made from fish skin. We use the phrasal verb be made from to explain what kinds of ingredients or other things are used to make something. We use made from when this ingredient is changed during the process of making. A similar one we can use is made of when we make one thing with another, but the ingredient isn't changed. So what about this fish skin plastic?
Fish plastic. Okay, well, obviously, since it's made from fish skin, it's natural. It comes from nature. This is not plastic fish, it's plastic made from fish. So this natural product, fish plastic, is from fish. It's a natural product, can be returned safely to the ground or the water. Remember yesterday we told you that plastic in the garbage will sit there for 500 years because it doesn't break down? This stuff does break down because it's natural. It is from nature, all right? If something's made with chemicals in a lab through some kind of industrial process with factories and machines, that is not natural. It's fake. It's artificial. It might be an okay thing, you know, certain things. Glass is not natural, right? We have to make it. But if it's natural, it does come from nature. But as the example sentence says, not all natural things are good for us. Snake venom is a good example. We're often told, oh, it's natural, it's good for you. But the poison from a snake, well, that's natural. That's not good for you. But, you know, generally natural things aren't so bad.
Exactly. Now we describe this fish skin as a product.
Yes.
A product is some kind of goods. It's something that is made to be sold, okay? If a company makes something in its factory, it's a product. If someone makes something in their home and sells it to others, it's a product. What we're making here is a product. It's a teaching video. This is a particular kind of product. You make it with the intention of selling it or maybe even giving it away to somebody who needs it. And here's an example sentence. All of the products for sale in this market are handmade by local artists.
Oh, okay, but they're making them probably in larger numbers so that they have to sell to anyone who wants to buy one. All right, so there you go. It's a natural product, this fish plastic. It won't sit in the ground for hundreds of years. It will break down. It says also, it also has other environmental benefits. So being natural and being able to break down is a good thing, but there's other good things. We'll find out more after we learn about this word, environmental. It's an adjective basically means of or relating to the environment. If we're talking about anything to do with the environment, we can use environmental, environmental science, environmental engineering, an environmental product. It's probably good for the environment, it's focused on the environment, it's about the environment, that type of thing. For example, Ali went to university to become an environmental engineer, someone who studies products and ways we can build things that are good for the environment.
So, how is the fish plastic good for the environment? The article says, for one thing, producing it uses less energy than making regular plastic.
Really?
So yeah, if you want to make plastic, you've got to use some energy to heat stuff up, to put things together. You need some kind of electricity or heat somewhere. But making fish skin plastic doesn't require as much energy.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And that's not all. In addition, it solves a problem with the large amounts of waste produced by the fishing industry. That's a very good point. We do eat the skin of the fish, but often when you buy the fish, if you think of sashimi and stuff like that, you're just eating the meat. Where does all the skin go? Because we only have skin on some kinds of fish, and even then, not all the time.
Yeah, and some people just won't eat it anyway. They'll just eat the meat. So we see in the article that fish skins won't need to be shipped away and dumped anymore. So if you're not eating the fish skin normally, throw it out, but now use it to make plastic.
Very good.
So in that sentence, we use the verb dump. To dump means to throw out. You get rid of it in a way that really shows you don't want it. It's usually a fairly casual action of just, we dump it. You take something to a landfill, it's dumped. The garbage trucks we talk about, they dump their waste. They tip up the trucks and it all falls out the back. It's just dumped. You don't throw away carefully or put it nicely. You just dump it. You get rid of it. Here's an example sentence. the man got a ticket for dumping his garbage on the side of the road. Just throw that bag down there. Can't do that.
Naughty, naughty. Yes, you should get a ticket for doing that. All right.
What else have we got?
Well, elsewhere, here's a totally different type of packaging, but also it's natural, it's made from natural things, and it would be better for the environment. We learn about it in this sentence. Elsewhere, Pivot Packaging, that's a company name. Elsewhere, Pivot Packaging is making containers from farm waste, such as wheat, bamboo, and straw.
Excellent.
So this would be the other parts of the grasses that we grow. Wheat, we take the little bits and we grind them up to make flour for bread, but all that other part, that's just extra grass. That's just waste product. Normally it's thrown away, maybe they feed it to animals or something, but there would be a lot of waste that just ends up sitting in the garbage.
Yeah, but I mean, it's natural waste.
It is natural.
So
it's not as bad as plastic.
Not too bad.
We don't do anything.
Yeah, why not use it?
Okay, this is another company in another place, so that's why we can use this adverb elsewhere. This basically just means somewhere else. Not here, somewhere else, but it doesn't really matter exactly where. It's not an important part of the story. It's not important to understanding. We're just saying, oh, you know, in this city, it's been raining really hard, but elsewhere in the country, they're having beautiful weather. I don't have to say down south or in Tainan or whatever. I'm just saying not here, in other places.
Okay, the article has got some more advantages of this kind of product.
Yeah.
Producing these new materials uses less water than what's needed to make paper or plastic, and it doesn't require forests to be cut down.
That's right.
Okay, so we're just using waste. We're not cutting down new plants to make these things. We don't need a lot of water because wastewater is, of course, another big environmental problem. We're just going here. We got this stuff. It already exists. We're not doing anything else with it. Why not turn it into something we can use?
There you go. So, as the article says, using plastic to package food shouldn't be necessary. We have other things that we can use, better things that we can use as the packaging, as the containers for that food that's being delivered. We don't need to use plastic. All right, here we have this word package, but notice we're using it as a verb in this case. We've talked about plastic packages or plastic packaging, but to package something is to put it in a box, basically, all right? So once they make your food, for example, at the restaurant, the chef, I guess, will give it to someone who works there. They'll put it in the boxes, put the lids on, put it in a paper bag or a plastic bag. They are packaging your products. When you wrap up something to send in the mail or even just to give someone as a gift, if you're wrapping a gift, you could say you're packaging it. And anything you buy online that's delivered to your house, somewhere someone has gotten a box, put in something to protect it, put some tape on it to close it. They're packaging your product, putting it in a package, wrapping it up. For example, the glasses were packaged in a box with lots of bubble wrap to protect them.
So as Mike was saying, plastic packaging, to package things in plastic is not necessary. Sure, plastic is useful, plastic is cheap, plastic is convenient, but we don't actually need it. We've got other things. And some of the responsibility on this is on the researchers to find out ways, very much on the companies to stop selling it and to try and go green. But we've got a part to play as well. As our article says, to get rid of it, plastic packaging entirely, consumers need to stop accepting plastic in their takeout orders or just eat out. So we've got to go, well, I'd like to get Uber Eats, but I'm concerned about the environment. So let's go out to their restaurant. Let's kind of make things better and go out and have it that way. And then you won't have to pay a delivery fee. So there's the bottom line. Here we used a phrasal verb, get rid of something. If you get rid of something, you throw it away. You get it out of your life one way or the other. You leave it behind, put it in the garbage, you just don't have it anymore. And so we said the responsibility is on consumers.
All right, so it is true. As a consumer, we have some power to try to change this situation and make it better. Why? Because as the consumer, as the customer, you are the person with money paying those companies for their goods. And if you don't like something about it, as the consumer or customer, the company should listen to you. All right, so if you go into a store and you're giving them your money and they're giving you something that they make or provide or will do for you, you are a consumer. And yeah, call them up. Ask them if they have environmentally friendly packaging. When they say no, you can say, oh, well, I'm not sure I want to order the food because I don't want to use so much plastic. If enough consumers send that message to the companies will change. They will have to if they want to continue to do business. So there you go. You do have some power. You just have to raise your voice and say your opinion. For example, more and more consumers are starting to turn away from fast fashion stores for kind of the same reasons. It's not so good for the environment. People know that, so they're starting to use their money in different ways. Consumers can.
Okay, and as a consumer, one of the options we have to reduce plastic is eating out.
That's another thing.
To eat out means to go to a restaurant to eat, or to get food at a stall or in a night market where you stay there and eat it, and you use their non-plastic, you use the the wood or the metal chopsticks, you use their bowls instead of a container, and you let all that be cleaned up. So that is eating out. The opposite, eating in. You stay at home and eat. Well, that is the end of the article. Let's go to today's For You chat question.
For You chat.
So the article says, apart from like eating out, how else could you reduce the amount of plastic you use? Well, I have my disposable coffee mug, which I take when I go and get coffee. I've had that for about 4 years. I have metal chopsticks and a spoon that I would use when I go out. Apart from that, I mean, I have a water bottle, so I'm not buying bottled water. So those are the sort of individual things that I'm doing. Anything you do?
I try to do all of those. Also the metal straw, right? So
that's true. I don't often get those drinks, but I do have a metal straw for when I do.
It's always handy to have one in your bag. But I would also just say, think about what you're doing in the store. All right, if you can buy something in a larger container, maybe made of glass, why not go for that option? Because then you don't have to have the plastic. So a lot of the things I think we buy in plastic, it's just because it's kind of lazy, it's our habit, we haven't really looked around just a little bit to see what other choices out there, because there are more choices out there. You don't have to use so much plastic, and if you do use the plastic, try to use it less, try to make sure it's something that can be recycled and won't just end up in a landfill.
Or reused.
Or reuse it yourself. So there you go. A little bit of work, a little bit of research, and just looking around to see your choices will definitely help you reduce the amount of plastic you use.
And that is all the time we have today. Thanks for watching us, everyone. For English for You, I'm Pat.
And I'm Mike.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Is it the end of the road for plastic takeout containers? Because plastic has been found clogging our oceans and rivers, companies, as well as researchers, are also looking for solutions. One possible answer is fish plastic. Lucy Hughes, a university student in the UK, recently invented a plastic substitute made from fish skin. This natural product can be returned safely to the ground or the water. It also has other environmental benefits. For one, producing it uses less energy than making regular plastic. In addition, it solves a problem with the large amounts of waste produced by the fishing industry. Fish skins won't need to be shipped away and dumped anymore. Elsewhere, Pivot Packaging is making containers from farm waste such as wheat, bamboo, and straw. Producing these new materials uses less water than what's needed to make paper or plastic, and it doesn't require forests to be cut down. Using plastic to package food shouldn't be necessary. want to get rid of it entirely, consumers need to stop accepting plastic in their takeout orders or just eat out.
Vocabulary Review.
Natural. When you have a cold, natural treatments like garlic and hot tea are good for your body. Product. Our company makes products locally to sell in shops here and overseas. Environmental. The factory spilled chemicals in the lake and caused environmental damage. Dump. Mr. Huang got in trouble with the police for dumping his garbage at the side of the road. Package. The workers printed the books, packaged them in boxes, and shipped them to bookstores. Consumer. The company released a new model of phone, but consumers didn't think it was worth the high price.
字汇小补帖
Clog. Researcher. Substitute. Elsewhere.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net